glint of gold, but I'm not the first person to notice it by any means. Tell me about it with you.
My father found it many, many years ago on the family farm in South Cornwall. He was out working in the field, probably with a horse, I would think, and he spotted it and picked it up.
Goodness. I mean, gold is the most remarkable substance because it's actually incorruptible. You could have buried this object for thousands of years and dig it up and it would be roughly the same condition. This wasn't buried thousands of years ago, but it was buried centuries ago.
Wow.
And approximately 4 centuries before.
Right.
I know. It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
It is.
And so up it comes to your father's eagle eye and he brings it home.
Yes.
And then, was it ever worn?
My mum used to wear it, apparently.
Did she?
Yes. On her
And
little finger, because it's quite tiny.
it is a tiny thing. And what you wouldn't see is the inscription on the inside. So I'm going to pick it up and just say what it does say, engraved in a particular hand. The calligraphy helps me date this piece.
Right.
But it says, very touchingly, "Till good advice, be coy and nice." Which is, I think, in a way, probably a reference to purity and to virginity. And to good advice is because there's going to be a marriage happening before long. And
Right.
I think this is probably a wedding ring.
Wow.
They are remarkable objects. They're called Posey rings. Posey is a contraction of poesy, which is poetry.
Yes.
And so they're tiny, tiny little poems engraved on the inside of rings of this nature.
Yeah.
And they're very poignant, of course, because the poor darling girl who had this lost it. And your father's excitement in finding it and our excitement today is exactly paralleled by her upset and grief at losing it. And I don't think it could get much more powerful, could it?
No.
And there's been very distinguished collections of Posey rings and even a book, an anthology of the inscriptions. I'm going to tell you that I've never heard this description before.
Oh, wow.
No. And they're often repetitive and they are very touching, but this is really rather inspired. And so the jewellery collectors would want this very badly. I rather want it very badly, but that's another issue. But anyway, and so they're going to chase this down if it was ever there. And there is precedent for such a ring to fetch maybe 800 to 1,200 pounds.
Wow.
And so your father's darting eye in the
Indeed.
turning the turves with a horse-drawn plough
Well,
has
bless
turned
him.
up something. Yes, bless him.
Yes.
And bless her
Indeed.
who lost it.